Hello, my name is Adrian. This time, I would like to talk about my wife, Amy. I met Amy through my boss, Jude, at work. When I had just broken up with my now ex-girlfriend, Jude had introduced me to Amy. Amy is a beautiful woman, and I thought that I wouldn't suit her very well, because I was just a normal, mediocre guy. After talking to her, we found that our interests matched quite well, so it wasn't long before we developed into a romantic relationship. I had just broken up with my ex-girlfriend though, and I wasn't comfortable with the idea of getting another girlfriend right away. Amy told me, "Don't drag about your past with your ex-girlfriend around forever." It was as if Amy had my back. And like that, we began to officially go out as a couple. And well, it's not like I want to doubt Amy, but recently I feel like she has been acting strangely. I don't want to be suspicious of Amy, but she has been acting really weird around me, feeling somewhat uncomfortable and being curious of what was happening. I began to observe Amy. I think it is a bit weird to observe my own wife though, but Amy tends to hold it in, even when she is in pain. So I thought that maybe she could be in trouble. "Amy, you haven't been really well lately. Do you think you are in some kind of trouble or something?" Even though I was observing Amy, in the end, I still couldn't figure out what was bothering her. So I decided to ask her directly. Amy then looked at me and stared at me blankly, and then immediately gave me an apologetic look. And this was when I finally understood what was happening. Amy was hiding something from me. "Oh, don't worry. Adrian, you probably say that because you do worry a lot, but I'm just a little tired." "Well, if you say so, Amy, then I won't ask you anymore. But when you feel like it's the right time to talk properly about it, let me know. I just don't want you to suffer, Amy." When I broke up with my now ex-girlfriend, Amy was the one who supported me through the difficult times. So, this time, I wanted to support Amy. But then, a few days later, I saw Amy and my boss, Jude, who introduced me to her, going into a nice hotel together. It was the day Amy told me she was going to meet a friend, and that she would be home late. I happened to finish work early, and was happy to be able to go home early. But near the bus stop, I saw Amy dressed a little more nicely than usual, and next to her was my boss, Jude, who was supposed to be on paid vacation today. In the end, I could not sleep at all until Amy came home after midnight. Oh, wow, you scared me. You didn't even turn on the light. What's wrong, honey? It's past midnight and I thought you already went to bed. Who were you with today? What do you mean? So I told you the other day, didn't I? I told you that my friend from high school was coming over here, right? That's right, you did. But the guy who you were with today looked exactly like my boss. It's as if Jude had an identical twin. Excuse me? And you both went into a really nice hotel together, right? I saw everything, you know. So that means that you were having an affair with my boss, right? I said this as if to question her, and Amy quickly got quiet. I figured an apology from Amy would come shortly thereafter, but... Well, you finally realized, huh? Amy, contrary to my expectations, started laughing really, really loudly, as if the neighbors could hear her. She was laughing so loudly, holding her stomach. I have never seen Amy laugh so much, even during our relationship, or even after we got married. And this was my first time seeing her laugh so hard like that. But I never said anything that's supposed to make her laugh like that. I'm cheating on you? Well, since we're married, I guess it'll be like that. But aren't you mistaken? You're the one who originally cheated on me. Excuse me? So, what I'm saying is that I was dating Jude in the first place. We are in love, even though he was originally from another company. His wife almost found out about us, and if I continue to be single, people would be more suspicious about me, right? So, Jude just introduced me to you. It was a shocking revelation. If Amy was right, it would be as if I got married to hide the fact that my boss and Amy were going out from my boss's wife. In other words, Amy did not love me at all. When I was told this shocking truth, all I could do was to be stunned and speechless. I truly loved Amy. I married her because I loved her. But why is this happening to me? Since there was no point in talking to Amy alone, I decided to ask my boss to come over to my house as well. My boss said it would be difficult because time is time, but that doesn't matter. When I told him that I would reveal all of this about him tricking me and him cheating on his wife with Amy to his wife, he reluctantly came to my house. Don't you think it's insane to call me at this hour?
I thought you were the one with more common sense.
Not as much as you, who introduces women to your subordinates to use that to your convenience. I heard everything from Amy, you know. You introduced me to Amy so that you could hide and continue your romantic relationship with Amy, right?
So what?
Jude answered in a way that he didn't look guilty, or he didn't sound apologetic at all on what he was doing.
Well, I thought
You'd feel at least bad for me. And he didn't seem to at all. Well, he is the one who was behind the idea and made me and Amy go out for his own convenience. If he felt bad, he wouldn't have done this in the first place. I'm going to reveal everything to your wife about it too.
What? What? Are you trying to destroy a happy family?
How can you say that you have a happy family, even after having an affair secretly, just because you haven't been found out? How is your family happy? I had a huge respect for my boss, you know. Because of what happened to Amy, I was sure that I would never be able to be mad at my boss for the rest of my life. But I never thought this would happen. Amy, too, has a blank expression on her face. The Amy I've seen is totally different from the Amy I've known. So, I guess the Amy I've been living with was just a complete lie. I really am a pathetic man for thinking that we were both so happy when everything was a lie. I guess I really don't have the ability to judge women. I broke up with my previous girlfriend because she cheated on me too. I'm really disappointed because Amy, who knew that I got cheated on with my ex-girlfriend, ended up doing the same thing.
If you would just keep quiet, no one would be in trouble. You like Amy too, so why don't you just let it go?
What are you talking about? You were having an affair with my wife, remember?
Well, to put it simply, you're the one who's having an affair here, you know. Don't forget that even though you didn't know, you are in the position of being the one who cheated, okay?
Amy is smiling happily at me as I get depressed by my boss's unreasonable words. That smile was not the kind of smile I like. It just looked like a really ugly smile. I was surprised at how much my feelings for Amy changed once my feelings for her cooled down. And then it happened. The doorbell rang, even though it was really late at night. When I answered it, a woman I did not recognize was standing there in front of the door. But it was not me who was surprised, but Jude was looking really surprised. Apparently, this woman was his wife. I thought it was strange that you would leave at this hour, so I checked your GPS. I've known for a while that you were having an affair. I didn't think you were still having an affair with her, though. Amy had also turned her head down when Laura, Jude's wife, was staring at her as she said this. Amy had mentioned that Jude and her relationship was being watched, and I'm sure this was the woman who almost found out about them. So I apologized for my situation and for Amy cheating with her husband. I don't think I really needed to apologize. But at this point, Amy was still my wife, so I felt I needed to apologize. After hearing my story, my boss's wife gave me a sympathetic look, saying, "You are also a victim, aren't you?" But surely, it must have been much more difficult for her, who has faced her husband's infidelity many times. I don't know how to say this in someone's home, but this time, I won't forgive you anymore. That is why I am divorcing you. Of course, I will charge you and Amy alimony. Your name is Adrian, right? You have the right to demand alimony from them too, so make sure you do that, okay? But you were betrayed by your own wife and your boss. You don't have to put up with that kind of crap. Besides, did they say you were the one who cheated or something? How can they be so stupid enough to even say that? Don't be fooled by their words. Laura, my boss's wife, talked to me firmly as she said this. I thought that I had no choice but to be cheated like this. But instead, Laura told me that this was all wrong. Even though she must be having a hard time, she was thinking about me and talking to me, telling me to be strong. That made me happy. And on the other hand, I felt sorry, and so I began to cry. I'm not getting a divorce. All I did was cheat just one time. How dare you say that? Just one time? How many years have you and my husband been having an affair? Aren't you really thick to dismiss it as just one time? Oh, shut up. It's none of your business. The issue of alimony must have made Amy a little impatient. Her attitude has changed from before, and all I can do is laugh. My boss, realizing that his wife was serious, remained pale as ever. In the end, after talking for another hour or so, the boss's wife went back home with Jude. I didn't talk to Amy anymore, who was left behind. I packed my stuff up accordingly in silence. Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going? We still have to discuss about... There's nothing more to talk or discuss about, because I've already decided that we're getting a divorce. I don't want to deal with you anymore, Amy, so I'm going to hire a lawyer. I'll have my lawyer represent me, so if you have something to say, you can say it to my lawyer, okay? As I said this, I took my stuff I had packed and stayed at a business hotel. The next day, my boss called me and gave me a token apology. But I have no intention of forgiving him, ever. It was as if I had married Amy to keep her relationship with my boss going. There was no way I could just forgive Jude for doing this to me. In the end, I left most of it to my lawyer to handle the messy issue. I had become so disgusted with Amy that I didn't even want to look at her face anymore. Amy made numerous requests to get back together with me, but I brushed them off every single time. There was no way anyone would continue to be married to a person like Amy, knowing that she would continue to take advantage of me. My parents-in-law, or Amy's parents, also told me that they wanted me to make amends to their daughter. What kind of punishment would it be for me to continue being married to a person like Amy and to make amends with her? After the divorce, I petitioned for a transfer to the Human Resources Department. I didn't even want to live where my boss and Amy were. Now I live in New York, and the hustle and bustle of the city makes me forget all the things I don't want to remember. I want to devote myself to my work and forget about Amy and Jude. By the way, my boss has been claimed with a huge amount of alimony from his wife and has almost no savings anymore. I hear that Amy is also spending her time alone because her friends have found out about the affair and are keeping their distance from her. I hate to say this, but they both deserve what they got. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be waiting for you to watch our videos again. Please subscribe to our channel